the greatness of God. One stone, one sling, one prayer, one God, one victory. Sometimes heaven needs only one obedient believer to silence 1,000 frightened voices. Daniel entered the lion's den. The lions sharpened their hunger, but heaven closed every mouth. The den became a sanctuary. The predators became silent witnesses. For when God arrives, lions forget their appetite. 3 Hebrew boys walked toward fire. Others expected ashes. Heaven expected glory. The furnace burned ropes, but could not burn purpose. The flames discovered that they cannot consume what God has already claimed. Moses reached the Red Sea. Behind him, Pharaoh. Before him, water. Above him, the command of God. Within him, faith. The sea did not move because Moses shouted. The sea moved because God spoke. Remember this. When heaven gives a command, creation obeys. Joseph cried. Inside forgotten prisons, chains kissed his wrists. Dreams waited patiently. Years disappeared. But heaven never misplaced his file. The prison became preparation. The pit became promotion. The slave became governor. Never conclude your story. Inside one chapter, God still writes. Esther entered the palace with trembling feet. She carried no sword, no army, no shield, only favor, only courage, only purpose. Kings bow when God opens invisible doors. Blind Bartimaeus sat beside the road. Many commanded silence, but desperation outshouted opposition. Jesus stopped. Mercy stood still. Eyes opened. Darkness surrendered. Never allow the crowd to silence the cry that heaven intends to answer. The woman who bled for 12 years touched the edge of eternity. One touch. Years disappeared. Pain surrendered. Hope returned. Sometimes one encounter can restore what decades have stolen. The disciples screamed inside the storm. The waves roared. The wind threatened. Jesus slept, not because he ignored the storm, but because he ruled it. If Christ can sleep in your storm, then surely your storm cannot overthrow him. Beloved, the devil always announces defeat before the battle begins, but God writes victory. Before the battle starts, the enemy says, "It is over." God replies, "It has just begun." The enemy says, "You are forgotten." God says, "I have engraved you upon the palms of my hands." The enemy says, "No way." God smiles, "I am the way." Fear looks backward. Faith looks upward. Hope looks forward. Grace walks beside you. Mercy runs after you. Goodness will not resign. Love will not abandon you. The dawn is preaching. Listen carefully. Every flower that opens today was once a hidden seed. Every mighty river began as a quiet stream. Every towering oak was once a fragile acorn. Every sunrise was once hidden behind midnight. Therefore, do not despise small beginnings. Perhaps you cried yourself to sleep. Perhaps you buried dreams yesterday. Perhaps the doctor's report stole your smile. Perhaps